I found that interesting, coming from Oklahoma State, last name Holiday. It's a relation.
Yes.
Well, you had to look, though, didn't you?
Yes, absolutely.
And then we got Pittsburgh last.
I do. I think the dark magic is over. I think it's over. I don't think Mike Tomlin can just continually being that team that wins 9 or 10 games and makes it into the playoffs every year. It's done. It's gone.
He's won 17 years in a row.
Yep, it's not happening. The dark magic's done. This year, I got to win 7 games.
Oh, we struggle in all aspects of school.
Yeah.
We had PE down. That's about it.
And lunch.
He and
I was ready to lunch.
That has stayed true to form, hasn't it?
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine.
Just like, I wish you could. Well, hello and welcome back, Wabash. It is football season.
That's right.
We talk some football?
Week 1 was an absolute disaster for me, but everyone's just glad that it's back. All right.
Yeah, it is. Maybe we shouldn't play on soccer fields when we're playing football. Just a thought, NFL. But anyway, we don't want to start talking crap off the beginning. Football's back. It's awesome because also now we get to talk about what's on the field and not the stupid stuff that you and me think's going to happen.
Well,
It's real content. It's real content. Yeah.
We can't be wrong on something that already happened.
That's a beautiful way to look at that. It really is. So, we're back, Wabash. Hey, check us out on YouTube, TikTok. What else are we
Twitter,
on? All kinds
Instagram,
of stuff.
or X, I guess. Whatever.
X, it got to be politically correct there.
We're real close to get. We're not real close, but we're trying to get to 1,000 followers on TikTok. So
We're
we
trying
can
to
stop
move the
streaming from my
chains.
phone. Speaking of which, Alex needs to turn that on right now.
So we're at a 3rd and 7. We need about 8 yards, and then we'll be the next level. That might have been a horrible analogy, but
it
we'll
wasn't
roll
bad.
with it.
It wasn't bad.
We'll
It's not the
roll
worst
with
one I've heard.
Still got another down. Yeah, well, it's football related, so we'll go with that. But no, enough our crap. Thank you for listening, tuning in, and we're going to talk about some live games, and why not start right here? Told you guys all off season. Telling you, 3-peat. Here it comes.
3-peat.
Yeah, we won by a size 14 shoe. Not.
Yeah.
That it was not a 12 or 13, or that game would have went in overtime.
Hey, the biggest take that I had from that game is I don't know if anyone's watched our past streams, but I was real big on Isaiah Likely going into this week and how he is going to be the main tight end, or at least be splitting duties with Mark Andrews.
You can save that for the fantasy episode.
That being said, I didn't follow up at all, and he was on none of my teams. So,
but hey, we got to talk about is he showed
I'll
out.
tell you can save that part for the fantasy episode.
Yeah,
that's on YouTube, guys.
In real life, the man balled out. Heck of a game. It really was. I mean, the Chiefs won 27-20. It came down to literally the last play of the game. Likely, I thought he was done for the game. Was it 2 plays before? He's over there.
Oh, we got hammered.
Lit up,
Yeah.
which was a legal play, by the way, because now you have to force receivers out of bounds. There's no more, that rule. We'll get to rules here in a little bit.
And
That's
then
kind of all across the board.
Lamar, the play before, doing Lamar things where he's a lot better at running the ball than passing it. Missed a wide open Zay Flowers in the end zone.
Absolutely. The clutch factor. Lamar
I'll say on that, Mr. CT ESPN on Twitter, a.k.a. Antonio Brown,
oh boy,
was blaming Zay Flowers for being in the wrong spot.
For getting too open? That was definitely it.
He had no
you
one
got way
within
too
5
open.
yards.
He said he should have been softer on it.
He missed the throw.
Should have stayed. So I think it's probably closer to 50-50 on that. But yeah.
He missed the throw, but honestly, they wouldn't be in that position if it wasn't for Lamar, in my mind. Their O-line, Baltimore's got problems on the O-line. Mm-hmm. I mean, the whole, Chris Jones was literally, he was like, all right, picking out his female dog. We'll say that on their O-line. And I've not seen a guy do that, would literally pick out who he was rushing against. And he won most of the time.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's Chris Jones. I mean,
he did, but, I mean, they had no answer. Derrick Henry, I talk about him not having a big game. They were in the backfield as soon as he got the ball. Mm-hmm. Lamar, amazing, the plays. You can go back, look at the game tape. Yeah, his rushing yards were huge. I think there was maybe 10% of that was design runs.
I think that he was running for his life most of the game.
He was. They're going to have to get that short up. If they do, likely.
Well, they traded half of their offensive line to the Jets. So
they did. That's a problem.
Yeah.
It takes a while. We talked about that in the NFL for the continuity to come together. Wasn't there. Your guy, likely. Talk all about him. Mark Andrews who?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say Mark Andrews too, but I
In
will
this
say
game it
that
was.
In this particular game, I don't think Mark Andrews got but maybe 1 or 2 targets in general.
No, he looks slow.
And he
really
does look
looks
slow.
He,
I really thought it'd be more of a split tight end thing where they'd
I
be
did
running
too.
a lot of the 2 tight end
Yeah.
sets. But he was very good at the end of last year when Mark Andrews did get hurt, and he proved that he was a very useful backup.
He did.
Apparently, they thought that he was a little bit more than that, and they made him a big part of Thursday's game plan.
That's who Lamar was looking for at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you had a little Zay Flowers mixed in early. He kind of faded out the end. Chiefs had no answer for him. I mean, the guy with the size he has, the way he adjusted, made that catch down the sideline and accelerated, broke away. And the other cool thing is he blocks.
Yeah.
Like he smashed Big George. I mean, amazing. Like,
Reminds
the
me
dude
kind of like, the
did it all.
the people's tight end.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Kittle? Yeah, I like that. My favorite tight end ever.
Just a note,
He did.
on Zay Flowers versus Likely. Zay did have, I think, 14 targets to Likely's 11.
And I bet they were all about around the line of scrimmage. Like, I don't know. They're going to have to get better blocking for Flowers, in my mind, to be implemented to the extent of the skill set.
They've got to find a way to, like the 49ers do, in getting him in open space.
Yeah,
making
that's fair.
him make
That's
plays.
fair. Yeah.
He is absolutely their biggest
dynamic.
weapon outside of Lamar and Derrick Henry, who are
Absolutely.
obviously your running backs, but he's probably the most explosive player on that team.
Yeah, he is. But yeah, on the Chiefs side, they did win the game. Honestly, it wasn't a perfect game. They had a few misconnections with Mahomes receivers. I liked how they used Worthy. I mean, I think he's gonna be more than a gadget guy.
A prime example of like what I said they should do with Flowers.
Yeah.
The Chiefs executed that with Worthy.
His first
they
touch.
found a way to give him the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. First touch in the NFL, it was kind of like a reverse end around, and was it 23 yards? He's gone. Touchdown.
Yeah.
Amazing.
He gets open in open space. He's deadly.
Yeah,
He's fast.
he is. Like, they had this good of a game with Kelsey doing nothing. Rasheed Rice. How many times did Baltimore get beat on, like, the same play? It was like this slant. Russ Middle couldn't stop him. Like, that guy is a beast. And, I mean, he's not driving his car around 120 miles an hour anymore.
It's 119.
119. I'm sorry. Man, that'd been cooler. Just missed it. It might be slightly less of a felony by that 1 mile per hour. It's not funny what he did, but I do think he's going to be here all year. They didn't even have Marquise Brown for this game. I'm not saying he's going to be like their number one, but he'll fit in. I liked what you saw.
He's a piece that someone has to cover.
Yeah,
I mean,
he is. It's another weapon for Mahomes.
Yeah.
And I think as the season goes on, this is kind of what I talked about going into the year. I like the sum of parts, the weapons. Pacheco looked good on the ground.
He did.
You know, defensively, honestly, they played a great 3 quarters. In the fourth quarter, Lamar, in my mind, just kind of took over freelancing.
And it was pretty much just Lamar. I mean, Lamar hitting Flowers and Likely. I mean, honestly, it was a 3-man show on that offense because they
really was.
pretty much shut down Derrick Henry after the first half.
Yeah, well, like I said, there was no push from the L line.
Yeah.
Chiefs from the backfield. So we'll see where it goes from there. The one thing I don't like is you had this out there. Yes, I'm a Chiefs fan. This Chiefs narrative that the league favors them, all that. I thought all the way around there was some rough officiating, really both sides. And
I think the whole week with the illegal formation calls, a lot of people were really having a lot of complaints about that because honestly, they're enforcing it harder than they ever have. I wouldn't say never more than they should, but more than they ever have. There were some that were pretty questionable.
Well, I truthfully don't know the exact rule enough to speak on it, but I do know they said that the Ravens' first-team offense got about no snaps in the preseason, and that's their said no injuries. I get it. But I think that was a lot that first drive with the mess. It looked bad. And then Juwan Taylor, the Chiefs, I'm sorry, guys. I feel like every play it could be a penalty. The dude, I don't know what the heck he's doing. He moves. He just looks off.
I think the NFL referees have actually spoken on that and said that honestly they could call it every play. But they've just kind of said that that's part of his thing. So
it's part of his stance. Is what I've
so they
read.
allow it.
And also, it's like he might be a bigger detriment getting Mahomes killed than the 5 yards. So if the Chiefs choose to play him,
he's the most penalized, and he's also the biggest.
He's
liability.
also bad. There's nothing going for
but,
his bad contract.
But on the Chiefs thing, on that, it's also why are the refs changing what they could call for that play?
Yeah, there was the Spags.
That's not supposed to be there at all.
Yeah,
and
and
that's what they're saying. Then they should probably be fined, honestly.
The Spags timeout too. I know there was a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that
over
one was wrong too, for sure.
I have seen it. You're right. That shouldn't have been allowed. I'll give you that. I have seen them grant it to other assistants through the years. But, you know, at the end of the game, I was like, okay, there was, I think, a very blatant play out of bounds that Mahomes got trucked They didn't call. I'm
I
like,
agree. Yeah, I remember that play.
I think it
yeah,
just wasn't the
pretty
best
bad.
game for the officials all the way around.
It was a bad
So,
game for the
I
officials.
Enough of
talked
that.
Enough about your Chiefs.
Your turn.
Let's talk about our game in Brazil on a soccer field.
I didn't want to depress you too much. But
It was
how
very
about
depressing. Well, first of all, the Packers lost, obviously.
It? Yeah. Old
Pretty
faithful there.
upsetting, but I will say this: I was actually messaging both of you throughout most of this game,
Yeah, it was
and
pretty
I
entertaining.
think I said around halftime, like, I don't care if the Packers win this game, lose this game. I just hope everyone
Yes,
gets out of this
yes,
without an injury.
yes.
And then 2 plays left in the game, Jordan Love's knee
Yep.
gets buckled, and
It was nasty. It really was.
It honestly looked worse than what it's appearing that it actually is.
I was thinking ACL season over. But
I was thinking season over as well,
Yeah.
and honestly, that's still yet to be seen. They say he's
Yeah.
going to be back in 3 to 6 weeks. I've even seen as early as 3 to 4 weeks.
yeah.
But
MCL, right?
MCL
No
sprain,
tear.
yes.
So that's good news. Because I think I don't want to dish your Packers, but without Love,
There's not a
their
whole lot going
dynamics
on there.
not there. Yeah.
No.
So not much faith in Malik Willis. No, don't say
no, I don't think Brucey's going to do very good for us.
Maybe in the offseason you learn how to throw the ball. I've heard that helps some NFL quarterbacks. Maybe. I don't know.
I mean,
it wasn't pretty in Tennessee.
Malik Willis, he compares very well to Bryce Young. So, honestly, though, he does. Like, they're
What
very
about
similar.
them signing
about
Ryan
that
Tannehill?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel very good about it. I hate it because like Jaden Reed looked stupid, explosive.
He did.
Oh my gosh, him and Love, that connection. And I have a little more hope for him because the way they get him the ball in the backfield, they're creative with him.
Yep.
Swiss Army knife.
Christian Watson looked pretty good that game as well.
Your offense looked good.
Yeah, it
really
did.
did. It really did.
Josh Jacobs was pretty unimpressive, but also he was running on
Yeah.
skates like everyone else was in this game.
Right. I mean, that's what I was worried with Barkley. I believe his first play of the game, just down.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, ooh. He actually did end up having a heck of a game, though. Like, what do you think of Saquon in that offense? Like, the way the touchdown, the first one, Hurts hitting him out of the backfield, corner of the end zone. Beautiful.
They're going to use him better than the Giants ever did.
Yes.
I think that they've just got a much better game plan for his type of running back style.
Well, I got one for you here. Could you see this being similar to when CMC got freed from Carolina and got to go to San Fran? Similar, not as
I
good.
don't think
probably.
he's quite as good. But
I agree.
I do.
You see
think
where I'm
that
getting at
yes,
here.
absolutely. If he can stay healthy, which I mean, CMC had the injury issues in
They
Carolina.
both do. They're parallel. I
So
thought on that.
there's a lot of similarities between the two running backs. I'll give you
Yes,
that.
Barkley looked very explosive, like back to New York Giants rookie Barkley. I mean, it was like CMC, the end of Carolina days. It was run right into the line, make something happen. You're our offense. They're stacking the box against you. Just do something.
Yeah, make something happen.
So, yeah, I was excited to see him. Jalen Hurts, I did not think he had the best game. I thought he had a lot of bad decisions. Part of it, too, with the accuracy could have been the field. When you can't plant.
Was it his first or second throw he threw
Yeah, it was not
straight
pretty.
into the Packers' arms?
Yeah, it was. It was a nice gift wrap. It's like,
Yeah.
there you go. You're not good enough anyway. So, but him and Kelsey's replacement, Jurgens, is that right? Cam Jurgens?
Yeah.
They had a lot of bad exchanges. I think that'll get worked out. I mean, Jason Kelsey, love the dude. He handpicked him there. There's some talent. But they've got to get. This wasn't a perfect game by them. Like they escaped without injuries, a little better than the Packers, but they've got some stuff to work out, some kinks to work out.
I agree.
AJ Brown, he ended up decent stat line, didn't do much there at first, wasn't
Yeah.
involved. So we'll see where it goes, but I do think their defense is going to be improved. This game wasn't. That's the thing. How much can we take away from this game on that turf, those conditions?
I think it's tough to see for both those teams, other than it may have ruined the Packers' season. But it's tough to
one.
see what those two can do on an NFL team or NFL field because that wasn't it.
No, it was not. It was like your backyard plan.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool. The NFL, I think, expand the game. I get it, but let's do it right. We're a multi-billion-dollar franchise. Let's at least get a field these guys can play on, or some crazy cleats. I
Absolutely.
don't know. So with that, we're gonna take a quick break here, and
Come
when
back and do some of Sunday's games.
we'll be a little quicker with our assessment of these. We're just slightly passionate, if you can't tell. These two
absolutely.
teams,
Those
so-
it worked out. Those were the early games.
Yeah, we'll speed
But-
her up a little bit. So we're gonna take a break.
We'll move
There.
on and come back for you in a little bit.
Sounds good.
Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop. At your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville, you can count on experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, the Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville carry a large inventory of Napa products for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced associates understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa Know-How at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville.
Carson Auction Realty is the one-stop shop for all your real estate needs. With over 40 years in business, Carson Auction Realty is the only company in the area that offers public auctions, real estate brokerage, and certified appraisals. If you're considering selling your farm, home, or commercial property, give us a call, and we can assist you in every step of your real estate sale, from pricing your property correctly to properly marketing to find any potential buyers, and most importantly, selling property for top dollar. To contact us, go to our website, carsonauctionrealty.com, or call our office at 662-4911.
Oh, we're back already?
Oh, we're back.
All right.
Sorry.
So, we covered our Thursday and
Boom.
Friday games. We're going to move on to our Sunday games.
We are. And as soon as my technology cooperates, I will give you guys exactly which game. There was like 14 to choose from. So, we are going to start out right now. I'm doing a good job slow playing it, aren't I?
Yeah, I love it.
Let's talk about the Crap Bowl, the Titans and Bears. Like, man.
Oh, my gosh.
That was 24-17. Bears won, but that is not the way I would have thought they would win the game.
You know, actually, the post-game interview with the Titans head coach was one of the funniest things I've ever heard anything in my life.
I missed it.
He actually said, you know, honestly, if we would have just punted the ball on 1st and 10 every play, we would have won the game.
Reminds me of the water boy. How you like my new offense now? Just punt it away. Take Niels, punt. There you go. That's hilarious. And true. Will Levis basically shot them in the foot. And I was super high on Levis going into the season. Well, hell, I was wrong on about everything.
How could you ever
else.
be high on him? He puts mayonnaise in his coffee, man.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop him right now. No, Caleb Williams, I think, was terrible. It's his first start in the NFL. Guess what, guys? That's usually what happens. Like, this
Maybe
is
not
a
to
deal.
that extreme, but-
Nah, maybe not. Usually they top 100 yards, I think. But
Yeah.
okay, so I got a question for you. Are both these defenses this good? Or both these
I think the
offenses
Bears' defense is
this
that
bad?
good.
I can see that. Their secondary played very good.
Yes. So another thing, Caleb Williams also decided, you know, I played terribly, but I'm going to go ahead and take all the credit.
Given his demeanor, I'm not too
He
surprised
said
by that.
at USC they always called me Mr. Comeback. He's like, so I was prepared for this type of situation. It's like, dude, you did nothing to implement that comeback.
I coached that defense up. They got that pick six. That punt return, I told them where to run. I told them to shoot for that gap.
He did get that 2-point conversion.
You did get the I know. After they already had the lead. So good job, Captain Comeback. You did win your debut. That's all I got to say for that. Like, I think there's nowhere to go but up from here for the Bears offense. I mean, Dunze didn't do anything to him. Keenan Allen.
Well, when your quarterback
threw to the
can't
most.
throw the ball, it's tough to catch.
Yeah, no, it really is. I mean, the one thing I will say for him is the Titans got great pressure. Like, he didn't have much time, but dear God, like, this was rough. And
He's supposed to be a quarterback that had the
Handles
mobility
it.
to, you know, like actually
You-
get out of those.
where was those Mahomes plays? That improvising, turn around, throw something behind the back, and maybe week 2. We'll see. But it didn't look good.
Bad look for week 1, for sure.
Very bad. But defensively-
in my opinion, post-game interview said it all. The
Yeah,
worst look that how he would just went ahead and just, like, took the credit for it. It was like, no.
Well, I'm like, how do you think Bears fans feel? This was a throwback to the Urlacher, Rex Grossman days when they won with a defensive touchdown, a bunch of field goals, and a punt return. Like, that's what they did then. Bring Devin Hester back. Like, that's the only way they'd win. This was a pretty ugly game. I don't really know on either team. We'll see where they go from here. Good job, Bears. You want to know? Well, you might have a shot at second in the division now. Like, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We'll see. But moving on to another game that was pretty well a turd bowl. Kirk Cousins, what the hell you doing, man? Pittsburgh 18, fighting Kirk Cousins, Shane's 10, Atlanta 10. That was rough.
Who would have guessed that Justin Fields was going to have a better game than, you know, the guy that replaced
Yeah,
him?
and that's really not saying much because Fields didn't do much either. Let's see, he
He
shot
didn't score a
them-
touchdown.
No.
Chris Boswell had a heck of a
Yeah, if you had him for fantasy, there you go. 6 field goals, I think it
Yeah.
was. Dude, if you're at this game, snooze fest. Like, oh my gosh. That being said, you know, Cousins.
Was there even a touchdown scored during the game?
Yeah, Atlanta got one.
Okay.
Cousins threw one.
Okay.
I'm not sure who to, but he did have a passing touchdown. So, and Bijan, like, really, there's nothing Atlanta offensively that you can, like, hang your hat on. Robinson was fine. Didn't really stand out. Drake London, man, I thought this year he would explode.
I think he had one catch for like 16 yards.
It was like I was thinking 2 for 17. So either way, not great.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts. Who would have thought your one touchdown in the game is Pitts?
That was the only touchdown on my entire fantasy team.
Well, I guess you didn't win much. Me neither. It's okay.
No.
It's okay.
We're actually the last two places in the
We
league.
are, and we'll talk about that later. But yeah, let's save a little credibility here, which we all picked Atlanta, I think, to win. It was a rough game. The Steelers' defense looked dominant. T.J. Watt, another one, he lived in the backfield of Atlanta. That is what could – that's their bread and butter this year.
Steelers keep finding winning the games. Finding ways
How
to
you
win
feeling
games.
about that
I'm
one?
a snap. I'm a snap.
Well, here's what's scary, big boy. For one, they are leading that division, but Cleveland looked terrible. Cincinnati looked terrible.
It may
You know where I'm going here. Baltimore's got some issues.
No, they're not winning that division.
I don't think so, but they might get to 8 wins.
Baltimore is a
team in the
way
division
better
that's like
team than
eight.
Pittsburgh,
They
man.
might, yeah, they are. Which Baltimore, I still think, is head and shoulders the best in that division. But,
Yes.
But yeah, back on this game. I mean, I think the Steelers eventually are going to have to get a little more offense going. I was surprised their split in the backfield was all Najee. Jalen Warren was banged up. Maybe that played into it.
More than likely.
But you had your typical Najee, 20 carries for like 70 yards. It's really exciting.
Yeah,
It's
zero
kind of-
touchdowns.
Yep, there you go. We've came to expect that. So, who do you think's quarterback next week?
I think they'll probably go back to Russ, but I think they'll do some Wildcat with Justin Fields.
Yeah.
But I think Russ is going to be there next week.
It came out already today that they are expecting it to be Justin Fields and Russ to not be ready.
Okay.
Russ is not ready.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
That's as of today,
you know,
Tuesday the
I
10th.
don't know that he's going to cook all year, so I don't know. I still think Fields is the future there. You know, he didn't lose him the game. That's all I got to say. A game like this, he didn't make mistakes he's made in years past and blow it. So, I'm trying to be positive here. But
Yeah.
speaking of positive, this next game is a lot more exciting. I put down on my recap the Buffalo Josh Allens because
Okay.
Josh Allen was the team. Came back,
That hurdle.
knocked off the Cardinals. Oh, dude.
That hurdle.
A part of me is like, oh my gosh, that's electric as hell.
Other parts, stay out of the air,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Like, stop.
It's week 1, you freaking try hard. Like, gosh dang. I'm super impressed by him this game. He's got a new receiving core. Still, I'm like, dude, don't put your body on the line.
That was the
every
quarterback
play.
shootout that game.
The Cardinals second half. It's like they didn't come back out to play.
Yeah.
Kyler had an amazing first half. I believe they were up 17-3 at one point in time. Like they were rolling, and then I wonder if he forgot that they drafted Harrison, number 4 overall, and to throw the ball to him. I don't know.
I didn't forget that I drafted him.
He definitely forgot whenever
nice to forget that.
he was so wide open that they couldn't even pan the camera out, zoom the camera out
Yeah.
to find another Bills defender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of a miss on the quarterback. I'm not a huge Kyler guy. I say that I draft him in fantasy because he runs a lot. But, you know, he's got to develop better as a
Well, you can't
passer,
see him.
reading
He's-
defense. Or get him some 3-inch shoe inserts. You know, do something like that. I don't know. But they let this game slip away. Josh Allen, like, he's Superman. I mean, I this year had kind of downgraded him for fantasy, all this. I'm like, he's got new weapons. Surely they'll give James Dalvin Cook, notice that one, got that down, the ball more. He did get the ball a lot, but unfortunately it's still
I
between
was
the
actually
20s.
a little surprised. Keon Coleman was a little bit more involved than
He
I thought
was.
he would be. I think he had 5 receptions for 51 or something like
He
that.
was the most targeted
Shakir? Yeah.
receiver
receiver.
for them.
And
even
I wonder
over
if that's how
Kincaid.
their offense is going to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, it seems like it is Coleman's team.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think every week, like Shakir had 4 catches, 40 yards somewhere in there. They still have Kincaid. He did nothing. I think it's going to depend on the week, the matchup, which guy shines.
They might take that San Francisco approach. Except they're
Maybe.
Yeah, a different
they're
game.
probably
different
not
weapon.
as talented.
Right.
But,
But you have Josh Allen at quarterback, and I trust him to distribute it. I'm just like,
That's fair.
don't die. I mean, like I said, week 1, his hand's banged up, left hand, which
Kincaid was pretty quiet.
he did nothing. I think he's going to have his big games,
Yeah.
but I think it's going to be a mixed bag. I still eventually think they're going to give Cook another back, a few more chances down there, just for Allen's longevity. But hey, for this game, he put the team on his back. He got it done. Cardinals, still they played a pretty good game. They had, big note, the first, what do you call it, dynamic kick return touchdown, DJ Dallas. Remember him? He
go.
used to be Seattle running back. I don't fully get it, but it's cool the way the kickoffs work now. It's like a running play,
Yeah.
the way I see
It's
it. You know.
interesting.
It is. I think I like it.
I think we're going to start seeing a lot of. We saw it a little bit during the Ravens game, like kind of like a rugby punt sort of thing.
yeah.
you just throw a line drive and get it to kind of bounce in that landing zone and kick out.
Yeah, well, and like I remember reading earlier, the Rams were talking about Kyron Williams returning kicks. I'm like, why? And I'm like, oh my gosh, like they don't care about him, do they? But after watching us plays out, where it is like you want a running back.
You want a running back, yeah.
Yeah, I get
makes
it
sense.
more now. So
McVay's usually pretty smart.
But I still wouldn't throw my number one back out there too
So-
often. But you know what?
I seen a Twitter post that kind of described exactly what you did with the Ravens. It was like the first kicker that figures out how to do that is going to make so much money.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Right, might be right up there with the Dallas kicker that can kick the ball like 70 yards.
Yeah.
Aubrey, he's amazing. Yeah. He's amazing. So we'll move on. Anything else on that game you got?
No.
I did put Arizona needs to put a milk carton out and find Marvin Harrison Jr. on the back of it. You know, those old school ones.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, let's do that for week 2. It helped my fantasy team, too. So we got this one. Oh, my gosh. I wish I went with my gut. We do a pick'em show, guys. I was on New England to cover this one. Cincinnati. First of all,
I was thinking that instantly when I saw the results of that game.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised. I really wasn't. New England 16, Cincinnati 10. They made Cincinnati play their game. Like, this was a Bill Belichick, the end of his era of coaching. The way if New England won a game, it's defense and keep the ball. And Cincinnati, going into the game, they had so much distractions. I'm sorry, guys. It looked like Jamar Chase didn't want to be there half the time, which he was sick, I think, going into the game.
Yeah.
Cincinnati's got problems, and they figured it out quick. That O-line didn't look good. Burrow did not look good,
We
which...
need more people to dye their hair.
Yeah, well, maybe he shouldn't have dyed his hair. That didn't work out very good. So, what did you think of Burrow, though? I mean,
I didn't watch a whole lot of the Sunday games, but I did look through his stat line, and
it's bad.
He looked pretty
Yeah.
unimpressive.
But,
a little bit of highlights
when your
showed me that-
quarterback's coming off a major injury, you don't have T. Higgins playing. Jamar Chase has cared more about his contract than his play on the field. Not surprised,
I will say they did, not to be a Bengals homer. I do like some Joe Burrow.
Burrow sucks.
On back-to-back plays, they had Gesicki almost get a touchdown. Looked like he did. They decided it wasn't a catch. I didn't see the replay. And then the other tight end was like almost across the goal line and gets stripped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so,
honestly, in that game, those two were the plays of the game.
Yeah. And I think Cincinnati will get
forgot
better
that
from here.
Gesicki was still in the league.
I did too. Miami. He's bounced around a
Yeah,
little bit.
he's bounced around a lot. He actually had a few pretty good seasons.
He's like 6'7" and has hops.
Yeah.
He hit the Mike Gesicki gritty, but then it didn't count it.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Well, that's just getting warmed up for next week. Yeah, Burrow find him.
Speaking of Miami.
Yeah, the next game. Let's go to that. Miami. Oh boy. So we'll do one more game here. We think. Let's talk Miami. We got the Tyreek Hill situation before it, which you're more of an expert on that than me.
I wouldn't say that I'm an expert, but I would say that he got arrested before the game. Maybe a little bit.
It was a gray situation.
It was a great
say the
situation.
most.
I don't think that it was handled very well on either sides of that.
Well,
but
I think that was one of those videos you show at the academy on how to not do things and how you should not act with police officers. So,
Right.
But as far as the on the field gameplay,
Tyreek
did
Tyreek
well.
great.
They started very slow.
Yeah.
I think the Jags threw this game away. I really do. They were up 17-3, driving. ETN fumbled the ball through the end zone.
Okay.
That changed it. A few plays later, Tyreek did Tyreek things. He gets open, scores an
80-yard
80-yard touchdown.
touchdown.
Yes, sir. I think that was close to the end of the third quarter, and the game flipped.
Yep.
I was a little surprised. Miami started that slow, but they came around. They used Achane out of the backfield a lot.
Yep.
That was if he stays healthy, it's another one. But it's just more speed compounded on more speed. That's what they're going to do. That being said, I don't still have much hopes for them going very far this season. It's fun to watch. They, I think, squeaked this one out. Jacksonville, what do you think of them long term?
I don't know. I've never been a big Trevor Lawrence guy, so
I agree.
I think that he's been kind of overrated since he came up here. I wouldn't say overrated. He's still a very talented quarterback.
Yeah.
I just don't think that he's as talented as everyone seems to think he is.
I agree. And this is a game you can't lose if you're
Yeah.
him. I mean, you're
Yeah.
up that big, get the ball moving second half. Shout out to Brian Thomas Jr., rookie at LSU. He looked pretty good. That might be their number one down there. We'll see. So I believe that pretty well wraps this game up. We didn't say the score. It was 2017 Miami.
2017 Miami.
Oh, we forgot a small detail. So
But we are out of time. We got to get it to break, and we'll come back with some of the later games.
sounds good.
If you're looking for a loan for your brand new home, call Clay County State to transfer money so your future will look sunny. Call Clay County State Bank. We got checking and savings and bill pay too.
And online banking, just ask our crew. For all your banking needs, we think you will agree.
Clay County State Bank is the place you need to be. Clay County State Bank.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
When a Fairfield fire truck needs a repair, Cam's there to keep things rolling. And as part of the volunteer fire department, Justin's looking out for Cam and all of Fairfield. Everyone supports each other, and Wayne White Electric Cooperative supports them all, with safe, reliable power for every one of our members. It's why REMCs exist, and together, it all works.
Doors, paint, windows, electrical, plumbing, and much more. Oh yeah, give me all your guns too.
John Lucas,
What?
you better be dreaming about all the stuff we sell here at Zink Building Center.
Oh, I would. Zink Building Center in Louisville on Route 45. It's a cool place.
And I guess we got a little ad in here. Yeah.
We've got a little bit
We
more
got a
of
coach here
our noon game still,
That's
but
right.
we're going to try to finish out Sunday and maybe even...
You guys just buckle up. Here we go. We're going to
Yeah.
talk some football. That's all there is
Nailed
to
it.
it. So here's a local game. We got the Texans squeaking out a squeaker against
Squeaking
the
out a
Colts.
squeaker.
Yeah, I really got deep on
That's
that.
probably the best game of the week.
It was a very good game.
To be honest about it.
It was 29-27. Texans won. If you look at the time of possession, like, Houston dominated.
Yeah.
But the big plays of Richardson.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting, isn't it? Very
Hey,
exciting.
the only good player on my fantasy team.
He
At least you got one.
he only completed 9 passes.
9 of 19. Okay, you take those 2 big plays out. That was like, what, 70, 80 yards?
Yeah.
But he can strike that fast, but I think for them to go places, he's going to be a little more efficient.
Yes, he's got to be.
As Joe Mixon, holy crap.
Oh man.
I mean, we come on here fantasy being like, he's not a good running back, he's going to get touchdowns, and
Oh
he
my
just
God.
got
I was upset that I had him on one of my teams, but I had to take him.
I was
Yeah.
surprised
No.
by the workload. He had 21 carries.
He
I believe.
had, I think he had 30-some at the end of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's what they did. They could keep moving the ball. They kept the ball away from Richardson's. Like, Texans, honestly, I thought dominated the game. Mixon looked great. If he can keep this up going like this with that passing game they've got, Diggs had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Collins, 80-some yards. They've got
I thought
so
he had,
many.
he had
over
110
100.
yards.
Did he really?
Yeah, he had
Okay.
over 100.
Okay.
Because he had, like 109, I think.
No,
is what
I
he
think he's
had.
110. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
Dale was the least, or had the least amount of yards, but he still had like 9 targets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Diggs
think he-
only had, 33 yards, but 2 touchdowns.
I think Dale might have been the most targeted. Actually,
you're right.
he just
Yeah.
didn't convert on all of
I
them.
think this works out well with the Diggs dynamic. He's not going to be your down the field guy like he has
Well,
in the
and I
past.
think that's why Mixon was so good, was
Yes.
because everybody's so worried about that passing attack.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
they're-
agree.
they're
It
passing
opens up lanes. It's honestly a pretty good offensive dynamic they've got.
They've got 3 wide receivers that would be ones on a lot of teams.
Yeah,
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. But I think you're going to see a lot more Diggs, red zone, what he can do. I watched this game. It's amazing the way he can work corners down there deep. That's where it's going to matter. Yeah, the Colts side of this, I mean, my gosh, like Richardson, the potential, you see it. You see it every game he plays. Got to get more consistent. Jonathan Taylor.
Hopefully he doesn't kind of just turn into Lamar, which Lamar's won 2 MVPs. He's a great quarterback.
Yeah.
But then you see him, he's a great runner. His passing has always still
It
just
has.
not
Yeah.
been what it's supposed to be.
I
He's
will
got a
say
ways to go.
that pass to Pierce, obviously it blew up.
Oh,
but man, there ain't. Maybe Josh Allen makes that throw. Maybe that's
The
it.
arm strength of that man.
That's
Was it
ridiculous.
65 yards in the air, 70.
And he
nuts.
almost fell down.
Yeah.
Right before he
Yeah,
couldn't
it was
take
like-
his drop
yeah,
back.
it
He
was-
just fell down,
yeah.
got back up, and just.
Mechanics weren't there for it. You see the talent. The sky's the limit for him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'd like to see Taylor get a little more involved, get him a little more ground game, not just rely on the big plays for their offense.
Yeah.
But you see the potential they've got. I think the line will play better too.
I think that
season goes
Colts
on.
team could be a pretty good team.
Yeah,
I do too.
I've
still
seen
think
a lot of
playoff
people
contender.
on Twitter complaining, "Oh gosh, what did Ballard do? Blah blah blah. We're not good." It's the first game,
And you played a Super Bowl
the Texans,
Played the Texans.
and you almost
Yeah.
beat. You should have beat them because Richardson missed A.D. Mitchell twice for
Yeah,
touchdowns.
he did.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Mitchell, that could be big. They start to connect.
Yeah.
I mean, they.
He
just
was
a hair.
he was wide
Yeah.
open 3 times, and 2 of them
Absolutely.
were touchdowns.
Absolutely, yeah. That was good. Want to go from a great game to a crap game? What do you say?
Absolutely.
I mean, there was mostly crap games.
Hey
So.
Gibbs, here's your Carolina
Oh
game.
man, Gibbs,
Ooh,
I am
feel
looking.
bad
I'm
for
gonna
you.
look into this camera. I am sorry.
Okay.
I am sorry
He was
for your
right, though.
team.
He was like, I don't see the Bryce Young.
Let me
I don't
start
even know.
with I didn't know that my expectations for Bryce Young could get any lower.
Yeah. You were.
But then, like, he proved me wrong, and he somehow sucked more than I thought he did. Like, that was one of the worst quarterback performances I've seen.
Almost, I didn't think a NFL quarterback would
I'm
be
gonna be
that bad.
completely honest. It wasn't even the worst part of this week. We haven't got to that one yet.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. You know what? Week 1, you can sum that up. We're getting to that one.
Yeah.
Is in the quarterback play.
Quarterback
was pretty
play
bad.
was bad
It was
week
pretty
1.
bad all the way around.
It was
really
bad.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's coming. But yeah, there's nowhere really to go but up from here. And the thing is, too, the defense. I thought Carolina's defense would be better than this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think New Orleans is this good, guys. Derek Carr looked very
Right
good.
now,
though.
they're looking like shades of 0-17. Like, it's
Yeah, Carolina.
Yeah.
Carolina,
They
yeah.
are. They might have a new starting quarterback next year. Number one. pick again.
I mean, how long
I
do you
don't know if
think
that's ever
they're
happened.
Then
gonna?
I have one.
How long? What?
How long before they go to Andy Dalton?
No, they're going to stick with
The-
Young because the investment in him. You know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah.
You know what Dalton is, and the thing of it is,
Andy
are
Dalton's
they?
not going to lead that team to
But
the
at-
playoffs.
at
Right.
what-
That's what I was
so-
going to say. If there's no playoffs, you got to see
At what
Yeah.
point are you just done with Bryce Young though?
End of the year.
You
I
think
think it's
so?
a possibility.
Okay.
Yeah, if they have the
I don't
number one
think that
pick,
you can find a
Yeah.
viable replacement in season to
Well,
warrant getting rid of
when
him.
when you give up the draft capital you did to get him, and he was the number one pick, you got to see 2 years out. You do. I mean, they gave up so much. They're going to do that, but I agree. After this season, well, hell, they'll be picking top of the draft if it keeps going like
Yeah,
this.
I mean,
yeah,
it's bad there, and you
it
got the-
is.
probably
Who's
the
worst top 5 pick, him or Trey Lance?
Oh, I forgot about that. The jury's still out.
I'd have to
Let's
look
see the
at
end
how
of the year.
that how those
But-
trades went down because those were
the
big
Niners
trades.
Gave up.
They gave up a ton.
They
for
gave
Lance,
up a
too.
ton.
Yeah, they gave up a ton for Lance. Yeah, that might be worse. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
He was your number 2 or 3 pick.
He was 3.
I think
Yeah, he
that's
was
what
third.
makes it worse is that Young was the number 1 pick.
I said top 5 pick. Right?
Yeah,
I
no,
was just
you
kinda-
you are right.
Yeah,
That's a
that's
very good point. Very good point.
It's a good comparison.
But yeah, okay, so
But hey, I mean, I will give Trey Lance this. He was at North Dakota State.
yeah. Well, Bryce Young had been in Bama. You'd
Yeah.
seen him on the big stage. You'd seen what he could do.
He
and
played
it's
in a
just-
national championship.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of what you see with the talent he had around him, and then you've a level playing
Yeah.
field. Wow.
Also, the
Um,
Panthers. I mean, that's the worst owner in sports now. That the guy out of
No, no, no,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no. Worst owner in sports. Come on, we got the Oakland Athletics to have a team.
That's fair.
well, that I mean,
We have a lot of candidates.
yeah,
That's
but
a discussion for another
there
day.
ain't,
There's a
there
lot
ain't
of
been one
candidates.
of them throwing popcorn or Mountain Dew
Yeah.
on fans in the stand.
I'll just say I don't want to be a Panthers fan right now. That's all I want to say on that. But yeah, let's go from this one to another game that was pretty bad.
Browns?
Vikings.
No,
Vikings.
We're getting there. I was going off your bad quarterback play.
Okay.
Danny Dimes.
Danny
Guys.
Dimes. Oof.
And Deshaun Watson too, man.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I was
it-
going with.
that's the
fair.
one I
Is that
talked
the one you were
about.
thinking of?
Yeah.
I think Danny Dimes might have been worse than Watson. Like,
Yeah.
man, and that's a flip a quarter. They're both bad.
I mean, at least Neighbors
But
still had
I-
60
is-
yards, I guess.
Is Deshaun Watson actually trying to be a worse quarterback? Is he trying to be worse at being a football player than he is at being a human? Like
He might be.
like it's
Bar's
getting close
set
at this
pretty
point.
low.
It's
on
pretty.
that.
It's
Yeah, he's terrible. On this one though, Danny Dimes, this is the year he's got to prove it or you're done. Prove it or shut up. And he's not proving it, guys. Like he's finally got the alpha. He's got
he's
neighbors.
got Neighbors.
Bring back
And
Vito.
they even yeah.
Well,
The
no, I
Italian.
think I think the Missouri grad should
Lock.
probably be
I'd
starting.
love to see it. Dude, I love
I'd
me
like
some
to
Drew
see that
Lock.
one. At least he's shown flashes of being able to do
He's
some
also
stuff.
shown flashes of being pretty bad.
Yeah, but I like the guy, so I don't
He's
care. I
still
wanna see
better than
Drew
Danny
Lock.
Dimes.
Dimes has set the bar pretty low on that one. Like I
Yeah.
would love to see that, but they've got so much invested in Dimes.
And
like, they're gonna see it through for a
it's
while.
almost like Saquon
Yeah, they
Barkley.
paid him, didn't they?
Oh yeah, they paid him, and then he tore his ACL, and this is like year 2 or 3 of the contract. They're
So
stuck to him for a little
I'll
while.
make a point. It's almost like Saquon Barkley was, an important piece of that Giants
It-
offense.
it is, yeah. It's funny what you see what they look like without him, and then what Saquon looked like with the functioning offense around him.
Yeah.
It's like, who is the problem here?
Yeah.
Because I think their owner actually said something about that, about how it hurt to see him, but, we can live without it.
I saw a
And
video
they
today
can't.
where their owner was actually asking his kids who they should draft in the first round with their pick.
Well, the kids might do better than he has.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Well, I think their first round pick there was good, but
This year, yeah, this year. I'm talking about past picks.
Yes, in the past.
But, yeah, what do you guys think of Sam Darnold, though?
I mean, so I think it was last week I brought up how, some of these teams don't do justice by their quarterbacks. You think of the teams he's played for, the aforementioned Panthers and the Jets. And, he got to
Darnold played for the Vikings for a little while, too.
He's on the Vikings now.
He is the Vikings.
He's
So,
on
yes,
the
you're
Vikings
correct.
now.
Good call.
Nailed it.
San
But
Francisco. That's what I was thinking.
he showed that he could still play in San Francisco.
Look at what he did there.
And then he gets to this, team that is
They got weapons.
They got weapons.
They got a good coach.
The coach is good, and he
Really like O'Connell.
He's an offensive coach, and he looked great.
He did. He didn't lose him the game. He managed the game.
did exactly what he
made the
needed to do.
throws. Yes, sir. And he's
Yeah.
got Justin Jefferson.
Yep.
Jefferson, I still think is the best receiver all around the NFL. I really do. They look good. Now we'll see when they go against a team with an actual quarterback on the other side. It's a little back and forth. But for week 1, Darnold looked better than I thought he did.
He looked way
We
better.
think Aaron Jones too.
He had a good game, and I've
pretty good?
said that all along that he would probably have a better season than Josh Jacobs because
one weekend.
I don't think Josh Jacobs is the quarterback or the running back of that team. I thought it was going to be AJ Dillon, but he's hurt now.
I think the poor guy's going to face a lot of
I
boxes.
don't think I don't think Marshawn Lloyd's going to take over that team anytime soon. So we're here. We're
we
stuck
are.
with him. I don't
Sorry.
like.
You've got injuries all around. You got Love. You got Lloyd down. You just Dillon.
Lloyd's down too.
Yeah, he missed the first week. I don't know when he's going to be back, but yeah, that's why he wasn't playing in the game in Brazil. Yeah,
I thought that was AJ Dillon that was hurt.
He is too.
He is too. Yeah.
Turns like these running backs get hurt.
So, what do you think Jordan Addison possibly being? I think he re-aggravated his ankle injury.
I did see that. I hadn't seen how severe it is.
Yeah, I hadn't
you mean as
either.
far as will that hurt them going forward?
Yeah,
absolutely.
yes.
Yeah, he's a very dynamic player in his own right. Speed. I mean,
He suits or he complements Jefferson.
he
very
does.
well.
He does. And they're still weeks away from Hawkinson. Like, that's going to be big. I still like O'Connell with what he can do scheming Jefferson up. Like, I don't think he's screwed. But the team as a whole, it's going to be a problem. But, hey, week 1, they won. They're 1-0. And they look way better than the team they were playing.
Yeah.
So, here's another one. We got the Harbaugh Bowl here. Jim Harbaugh's back. New team. Same style of football.
Yeah, it was
Run the ball.
exactly what everyone thought, and
What do you
it
think about
worked.
that J.K. Dobbins big guy?
Oh,
Look at
man.
that guy
Run the
roll.
ball. He didn't break.
He didn't break. Well, I set the over-under of healthy games at Dobbins at half a game. He's already
Hit
over.
the over.
There you go.
If they do that usage like they did, there's a chance Dobbins, might work
Yeah,
out
what do
pretty
you get,
good.
10 carries,
He
is that
got
right?
10.
10.
Gus Bus got 11.
Yeah, and he looked way better, but they're going to have to keep both those guys healthy.
Yes.
They're going to run the ball. I think Herbert will have better games. The receivers didn't really have to in this game.
No.
I was very disappointed with the Vegas side of things.
Yeah, I was too.
The offense was very bland.
Yeah.
Good call on you. You weren't high on Adams. Didn't have a very big game. Bowers looked pretty good.
Yep, Bowers did.
I thought Uncle Rico would stick on Adams like glue.
I think Bowers had the most fantasy points out of that team.
Yeah, he had 58 yards somewhere.
Zamir White, we'll get into that on our fantasy
Trash.
episode, but
Yeah.
that was not good.
He was not. He may not have a job very long. We'll
Yep.
see. Madison looked better. Might as well, right?
Yep.
I don't know. I was really excited. I like Antonio Pierce. You saw him on what was that receiver? The way
Yeah.
he took the team over. But I was disappointed in the end of the game. They punted on a
Yeah,
fourth and
that
one.
was a pretty bad punt.
Yeah, they were on plus side territory, and I'm like, hey, if you're gonna.
Well, when your running
Go for
back
it.
looks like he's getting pushed around and.
But I didn't like setting the precedence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, you were down 6. You can say, well, trust your defense, pin him back.
Big balls Dan Campbell wouldn't have. let
Dan
that
Campbell,
go.
what's he doing?
No.
He'll do that from his side of the field in the first quarter just for the hell of it because that's what we do.
Yes. I think
And I didn't
we'll
like
get to that game. I think he did.
He did.
Actually.
He did a couple times, yeah.
it was a football game, so he's going to go for it.
The
So
Lions are 2 for 2 on 4th down this year, right?
they
now.
are, they are, and we will get to that soon.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what do you guys think we take a
Yeah,
break
we'll
here?
take a quick break.
And we'll come back and we'll wrap up this NFL coverage. Let's do
Absolutely.
it. All right.
Tomorrow. Some fear the uncertainty it brings. Some trust the promise it holds. At Grinnell Mutual, we are always looking forward to tomorrow, growing and innovating. So even if the plans you have for the future aren't the same as the plans that the future holds for you, you be ready. Because we'll be ready, like we have been for over 100 years. Trust in that. Trust in tomorrow. Talk to your mutual agent today.
Your local agent is on the square. Louisville, Clay County Farmers Mutual Insurance. We like technology at Flora Savings Bank. Here's what you can accomplish in our mobile banking app in less than 30 seconds. See account balances in your transactions, set up an account alert, make a transfer between accounts, get an alert text message about your transfer, pay a bill, turn your debit card off and then back on. It all happens in the palm of your hand with our free My Bank to Go app. Search My Bank to Go in the App Store or Google Play and give mobile banking a try. Flora Savings Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Do you bowl like this? That's great. Do you bowl like this? That's great too. That's because whether you're a pro or you just want to have a lot of fun, at Pegel's Silver Dollar Lanes, we have a lane for you. We have galaxy bowling, gaming for kids and adults, Joe's Pizza, a full bar, darts, pool, and fresh and clean bowling shoes. Boy, does that smell nice. So come on down to Pegel Silver Dollar Lanes in Effingham, where we have a lane for you.
My name is Robin Stanford. I own Stanford Marketing. It's a promotional products business along with an embroidery business. And we do custom hats, t-shirts, anything, you name it, we can make it. People like that we do stuff in-house and we can actually make things here and that we're not contracting the work out to other places. We never say no. We always try to find a way to do it. If anybody can do it, we can do it. We are hardworking women, that is for sure. Come to Stanford Marketing in Flora for all your custom and promotional needs.
All right, and we are back. We're going to wrap it up. We got 5 more games, if I counted right, and we're going to slowly build this to the games we're more excited about.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, unless you really are a big Seattle-Denver fan, but I didn't really care on this game too much. Except for betting purposes, it was actually very close on the spread. It was 5.5, and Seattle won 26-20. So, exciting. Seattle started off slow. Second half, they came alive. Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, Tyler Lockett. Everyone was low on him this year.
Yeah.
Thinking it was going to be JSN taking over, and he said, nah.
He said, no, I'm still here.
Every week it seems to be like in a Pete Carroll offense, any single wide receiver can just be
he's
able
not
to
Pete Carroll ain't there anymore.
So, never mind.
Beautiful
Pete Carroll built team.
If you want to say that, yeah.
Pete Carroll drafted these guys. I'll give you that. Boom. We were getting out of that.
He's chewing his gum elsewhere,
You
boys.
know, with Seattle, you never know what you're getting. With Aaron Rodgers, you never know what you're getting. There you go.
Nope.
But yeah, it was. They might do this all year. I'd love to see DK just take it. Be his team
Yeah,
receiving.
it needs to be DK's team.
It does.
It really does.
On the ground, Kenneth Walker got 100 yards. I didn't realize he was near. I feel like that was like 20 at halftime.
Yeah.
He took off. He did get hurt into the game.
Charbonnet still did pretty good, too.
Receiving.
Yeah, he's a big
He's a very good receiving back.
Yeah, he had 4 rushes for like 11 yards. Like, he wasn't very good on the ground.
No, but I think you see it there. The pieces are there for Seattle to be good offensively.
Yeah.
Mike McDonald brings that Baltimore swag over defensively. Like, this could be a pretty complete
I
team.
think their defense is a little underrated, and
I do too.
They got good corners. They always do, but
They do.
Yeah.
The Legion of Boom, like 4.0. It's been a while since then, but Denver. I mean, you know what? Bo Nix didn't die his first NFL game, so
That's about the only thing we have to report.
yeah.
I think his yards per attempt was like 4 yards or something like that.
To be fair,
Air yards might have been a
he
yard.
did that at Oregon to an extent too.
Yes.
but,
Yeah. And that's actually what Peyton kind of wants. Like,
Yeah.
he's kind of got that screen game, them, underneath throws.
That's Oregon's schemes too. Oregon was like almost exclusively screens and deep balls.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you got those athletes that they get.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Nike
what they
doesn't
do.
help it all there, but
Yeah.
But I think promising to go into Seattle. It's a hard place to play. His first NFL game. If I'm a Denver fan, I'll take it. What a train wreck. So
You're not expecting much, so.
No. We were expecting less than we were from the gentleman named Deshaun Watson in the next game.
Oh, man, boys.
What do you guys think?
I think they should.
How about
it? I think I mentioned this, and I'll say it here. Whatever this new sexual assault charge is on him. Yeah, there's another one just came out. If I'm Cleveland, I'm looking at that. I'm combing through your contract you signed with that man and seeing if you can get out of it.
I remember when
I'm going to hire the best
signed,
attorney
They
to throw it.
guaranteed him $260 million. Like, they guaranteed it.
I mean, unless he gets. They said there's a chance he gets put on the commissioner's exempt list for this one.
Bring on Squints. Let's see some Jameis.
Yeah, Jameis
You
should.
know that guy.
At least he'll, pass it.
He'll do something.
At least they
He'll
gave up
do-
like 6 picks to get a quarterback that was worse than the one they already had.
Yeah, we'll get to that one.
It's not
That's such a
looking good.
Cleveland move.
The only thing I'll say, he was missing his 2 starting tackles, and Dallas has a very good pass rush. I
Yeah.
mean, that is tough for any quarterback.
Okay.
He did have pressure in his face all game. I'm not trying to
It
defend
was
him much.
He's terrible.
It was record-breakingly bad. I'd have
Yeah.
to look again, but there were stats coming up that it was like
Well-
one of the worst QB starts of all time.
Yeah, and what worried me too was Jerome Ford on the ground. Like, they didn't do much
Yeah,
there.
he got a
and
touchdown, and that was it.
That was it. Like, there wasn't much rush. Their offensively was depressing, and they lost Njoku too.
Yeah.
He got hurt. Like, all around for Cleveland, this is a find the bag, put it over your head game, and another year. And I hate it.
It's
'cause
like,
I love the
remember
fan
when we were good for a couple seasons? Oh, that's
Yeah. We
Yep,
were.
that's gone.
So they've got
On the other
problems.
side, America's team,
Yeah.
they looked pretty good.
Dude, what'd you think of Dak getting paid like what, a couple hours for the game?
Dak and CD.
I was like,
Well,
CD's a few days, but you're right, the week of it.
Dak was literally like at
2
the
hours before
stadium.
the game.
Yeah. Jerry rolled up the gates, threw him a couple hundos.
Yeah,
like,
so here we go,
come
we're
here,
done,
a few
sign the
minutes.
contract.
Now, don't screw up, son. Go out there and make me look great. But
he did.
He
and they
did.
did. You know, wasn't eye-popping numbers, but it was enough to win the game. When
Yeah.
the defense plays this good, him and CD looked right.
Yeah.
Jake Ferguson got hurt. That's
Brandon Cooks looked good.
He did. Yeah,
Brandon
Cooks had a
Cooks looked
touchdown,
good.
didn't he?
Yeah.
The run game, I mean, Zeke didn't go backwards.
They did where it was really drive dependent. Where one drive is Zeke, next drive is Rico. They really
I
did
want to see
that.
Rico freed. I do. And Dalvin James Cook on the roster somewhere.
Fun
Maybe practice
fact
squad.
from something you'll never see this stat anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
He actually did complete 2 passes to CD Lamb. Deshaun Watson did.
Oh,
Threw it on the sideline.
I did not know where you're going.
I didn't
You
either.
never know here.
Yeah,
No.
so he actually completed more passes to CD Lamb than he did any of his own
Then he
receivers.
did Amari Cooper. Up
Yeah,
there.
and you have Amari Cooper
And,
on your team.
Yeah, I was excited for this. I was thinking this might be an Amari Cooper revenge game. Playing Dallas. No, Watson sucks.
Yeah.
That's all there is on that one. So we'll move on to Tampa Bay, 37. Washington Commanders, 20.
I want to start with Mike Evans, maybe still, even though he's getting a lot more recognition, one of the most underrated wide receivers.
Yes, he is.
I agree with that.
I
All
mean-
time, I agree with you.
Yes.
He just does it. You'll think he's not done much in here, and you look up, it's
1,000 yards
1,000
every
yards.
year.
Every year. It's guaranteed.
He just mark it down. He's just gonna do it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he's amazing, and the Bake Show guys.
Ah man,
Bake Show
Baker.
is real.
I'm happy for Baker. Is what I am.
I
I'm
mean,
happy
I
for
am
Baker.
too.
He got paid.
That's
all
another
the
thing, Cleveland. How you feel about that?
yeah, all the crap he went through there in Cleveland, and then
Yeah, I
once
didn't think he
again,
got a fair shake.
he went to Carolina. Well, Gibbs. Sorry, they are a dysfunctional franchise
It's
that
circus.
can't do nothing.
It's circus. He didn't have a shot there. He's looked great. Chris Godwin looked pretty good. Like,
Yeah, he looked good.
Baker
was
spread the
one-
ball across the field. All
He
of his
did.
receivers look good.
Jalen
Like,
McMillan had a touchdown too, and they
Yeah.
missed on. I think he dropped it. Another would-be touchdown. Like they've got weapons.
Bucky Irwin looked pretty good running
Yes,
the
he
ball.
did. He looked better.
Yeah,
than
Rashad White. He's not a great runner. He's a good
He's
receiver.
not.
He's a good
He's-
receiving back.
It's kind of like you know what you're getting out of him, and that's why he's out there.
Yeah.
I'll be
You know
honest,
what I mean?
Tampa Bay looks scary after that
Tampa
game.
Bay looks
They
scary.
really did. Their pass rush.
yeah.
It got out.
Everybody was on Atlanta for good reason. You think they're looking good
Yeah.
to win that division,
It
but
was all over
it's
it.
still Tampa's division, I think,
Well, it almost
guys.
shows you the team that wins the offseason doesn't always win the
No.
season.
No.
Tampa did nothing
Well, you think
flashy.
it's Canuti. Whatever. You know what I'm trying to say.
What was that? Canales?
I do
No.
not know what you're trying to say.
No, I was
Sorry,
like-
sometimes I don't pronounce
Wow.
words right.
Continuity.
Continuity.
There we
Continuity.
go.
There we go.
Okay. Never been good at that till now.
Continuity.
Continuity. Yeah, no, I get you. Like they brought everybody back. It's kind of like Indy was the other team
Yeah.
that did nothing, with the exception of the draft. But they brought the guys back, and sometimes another year that development,
Yes.
Baker chemistry with these guys, it's huge.
He got
Gotta-
paid. Now he's not worried about that. It's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
all
And
things
he
look
deserved
good in Tampa.
Yeah. The Washington side, their defense is maybe the worst in football. The secondary is terrible. So that's what'll be interesting this week. I believe Tampa plays Detroit. I'd like to see how they look against
that'll
that
be
for anointing
If
them
they
all the
can
way.
make that even a game,
yeah, and they did in the playoffs last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
They did.
I think it'll be a good game.
I think so.
I
I'm
think it'll be a
excited for
shootout.
it. I
It
am.
might be the best
Which,
game of the
hey,
week.
You guys need to check out our preview. We'll be getting to that
Yep,
in a little
we'll be
bit.
getting
gonna be a
in.
shootout.
Stay tuned. I like that little PR
Smash
thing
that
there.
over.
Yeah, there you go. I was disappointed in Scary Terry McLaurin. Like I thought him and Daniels, Daniels threw the deep ball at LSU. It's week one though.
It's week one. I'm
And there's
not
pressure
worried
in his
about
face.
Terry at all.
No, I was just really excited to see what he could do there. And the one way I think you can beat Tampa is the secondary. Didn't happen.
Jaden was running for his life.
He was.
Luckily, he can run.
He's electric.
He's electric on the
He's
ground,
electric,
but I mean, yeah, he was running for his life.
I mean, I don't advise that being their strategy. Let him scramble around and hope we
No.
don't kill him. But
he'll break.
Brian Robinson, their running back,
Yeah,
looked
he
pretty
looked good.
Yeah,
I think it's his
There were
backfield.
some positives for Washington.
There was,
Everyone thought that might be.
This
more
isn't
of
a Carolina situation.
Yeah.
They've got
Yeah.
something to build.
Yeah.
They do.
Thought that might be a split in the backfield, but it was receiving
Eckler-
for Eckler. If it was a receiving down, they went there. But
Yeah,
Robertson,
he
I
was
think,
third
still
down-ish.
had some.
He
some-
did.
Well,
He
Eckler's
had
at this
the
point on the
lion's
wrong
share.
side of 30. Like he's going to be
His best
your-
days are behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to move on now to the exciting, the Sunday night, Monday night game. Detroit and M&M. They came back, won it in overtime. What a game.
It was a great game.
Detroit, 20 LA. I got to give to LA for honestly hanging strong with them when they lost Nakua.
Yes, they lost Puka.
They did.
Cooper Cup's like Nakua
Cooper-
who?
yeah.
Dude, he balled out.
He went off.
I think
Man.
you need to that milk carton that you had Marvin Harrison on.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
you need to go find that again and put a Monra on it.
Yeah, good
yeah.
call.
Yeah.
Who would think? That's the thing. Look at this game when him and Laporta. Unless I missed something at the end, Laporta
No.
didn't have much of a game. I guess this shows how good they could
Laporta
be.
had more targets though.
Yeah.
But they did nothing,
he
and
just didn't
Detroit
connect,
did
but-
this. You know what I mean?
It almost seemed like a game plan thing, though, to me. That watching the game,
No, with
they,
Monroe,
they
it's like he's so good. It doesn't
yeah,
matter.
but I mean, they were going to Williams.
They left him open.
That being said,
Yeah, but
You
they
are
were
right.
they were going to him.
I was gonna say his matchup against the LA corners. He had speed.
Yeah,
He'd
he
been
is
beaten. You're
so
right.
fast.
If he
They
is
are
healthy on the
they are
field.
very high on him coming into this year.
Oh,
yeah,
I
if,
am now.
If he's healthy and
Well,
can be what he was at Alabama, that team is
Yeah.
like wow.
He was a
scary.
first round pick. Was he number 9?
He was 11 or
a high pick,
11.
Yeah.
He tore his ACL in
Yep.
that national
And they
championship
still
game.
took him that high.
He
You know
tore
what I
his ACL in that national championship
Yeah.
game against Georgia. Georgia, that may not have been the start of their dynasty if he doesn't tear his ACL.
good point.
Because I'm
Yeah,
pretty
it's a very
sure
good
he
point.
was burning in
Yeah.
them
He
before
was,
he
he
did.
was.
He was tearing them up.
Yeah, he looked amazing. You're right. That game, he was the guy.
Yes.
If he is healthy, they have so many weapons. The two-headed monster in the backfield.
Yeah.
I mean, Montgomery. Holy crap!
I
in
was
overtime.
I was kind
How
of
does that guy just
surprised.
keep trucking?
He
Honestly,
just
Well,
does it.
I'm watching that game. I've got both running backs in fantasy separate leagues, and I was like, "Where's Montgomery?"
Yeah.
Like towards the end of the game, it was all Gibbs, which is fine. Gibbs
well,
is
at the
great
beginning of the game,
too.
it was all Montgomery. Honestly,
They literally split
Yeah,
drive.
it was.
Switch it off like it's a tandem.
But man, let me tell you, if they would have put him in on the fourth quarter the way he ran when he was fresh in that overtime, they might not have had to go to overtime.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, look at in overtime Montgomery.
I mean,
did.
he
Holy
just
crap.
took over.
They literally just gave him the ball
I don't-
all overtime.
yeah, it
and
wasn't
they won
even close.
It was. I mean, it was.
I think Gibbs had a run in there for a first down.
Yeah,
Other than that,
he
it was
did,
all
yeah, at
Monty.
the end of the game. And I thought too, their secondary, like that was Detroit's weakness last year. Their secondary, I think it's improved. Their pass rush, Aiden Hutchinson, guys.
He is a stud.
No matter who's out there, tackle, he just gets. He was in Stafford's head.
Mm-hmm.
That led to that pick at the end of the half. He put pressure relentless in his engine. He doesn't take a play
He
off.
is very
love the
comparable
guy.
to Nick Bosa.
Yeah, yeah, he is. He is.
I do want to give a shout out to Stafford for still being a stud. Too.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
And, he took some shots.
He took shots. He's
He
just
lost
Matt,
his best weapon, Nakua.
Yeah.
Look at what he
he's
did.
just Matthew Stafford. He just goes out there. If Rodgers wasn't there in the same division for years, we'd be talking about
Yeah,
Stafford
we
being
would,
so great
yeah.
because he is great too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm, as a Rams fan, I'm optimistic even after the loss.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Let's do our last game here, guys. We got San Fran 32, the JETS 19.
19.
Sorry.
And the last
take the floor, man.
Well, I
It's your
mean,
guy. It's your guy.
I'm going to start off with the Niners did the typical Rodgers game plan.
Yeah.
And they say keep Aaron Rodgers off the field. He's going to be the guy that beats you.
Yeah.
Spend as much time on our offensive possessions as we possibly can and keep the playmaker off the field. So
Yeah.
that's always worked for him against Rodgers. No reason to stop it.
Well, I
now.
think they messed with him too, the pressure. I
Yeah,
really think
absolutely.
they get him off his game.
The
move him out
O
of the
line for the
pocket.
Jets, hopefully it gels. It takes
Yeah,
a
it
little
does.
bit. So
It's week one against a horrible
Yeah,
matchup.
all you
Horrible
Jets
matchup.
fans,
They
you were
never
going.
really could get the run game going with Brees
No.
Hall.
No, you're
No.
right. You're right. It's a tough front. San
Yeah.
Fran is. They don't play around. And what'd you think of no McCaffrey? No problem.
Man,
I mean,
it
I
does
think it
not
hurt them in the
matter.
red zone. But this team, I mean, Mason, what did he put up? 150 some yards
On 31 carries or
And,
something like that.
Yeah, the only thing he did wrong was the post game comments. Probably should have said
He got his team
I
a
just
on him though.
I agree.
That's not on him at all.
Where's your PR department to coach him up? Be like, hey,
Yeah.
we can't
that
say that.
That shouldn't
but-
happen any which ways.
Yeah, I agree. But he looked great. San Fran, they're a juggernaut. They're a machine.
They are.
I'm still not too down on the Jets. We'll see what they do
Oh,
next
I
week.
was surprised. Like at the end of the game, I was like, "Is Rodgers hurt?" Because they actually had Tyrod Taylor out.
Oh no, they're like he's 41. We're gonna remember.
You could tell Rodgers was struggling a little bit to move around like he used to.
Yeah, what I'll say though, he still got. There was in the third quarter that drive, they got the touchdown to Lazard, not the touchdown throw. There was one before it, I think 26 yards down the sideline. He put the ball right there.
Oh, there was several passes I saw like that, and I said this earlier to you guys, but there was a couple plays like where the San Francisco defenders got an arm in there.
Yeah.
That I think that he's gonna have to get on to Garrett Wilson's like.
Oh,
You got to get in there and reach for the ball. Can't let the ball just come straight to you.
Yeah.
You've got to beat the defender to the ball.
Well, if anyone can get that through to him, it's probably Aaron. I think he's had his share of chewing receivers out.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Yep. You got anything else on the game, guys? Because this is our whole week. We did it.
It's
First
it's
episode.
week 1, so don't be too down on your teams. It's just week 1, guys.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, that'll be my
Except
last
for my
thing to
fantasy
say.
team, I'm not throwing a freaking
Still,
thing.
don't even be down on your fantasy team.
Yeah, don't panic. It's okay.
No panic.
We'll get over it. There's
All
a
right,
few
guys,
more weeks. So
I think we are out of time.
Yep. Thank you guys.
Remember to look
tuning
for us
in.
on YouTube. We're getting ready to go live and do one on there too.
Yep.
Have
That's
a nice
right.
night, and
Yep.
we'll catch you next week.
Catch you next week.
See you guys.
ya.